I don't want to delay the access to the food and beverages, which I know are on the other side of the awards, but this portion of all of PSP forums are by far the most important to me. I have worked with many people in this room for decades, and there are so many people in this town that work their tails off and often don't get the recognition they deserve. So a portion of PSP's events are always dedicated to highlighting the best of the best. We had an incredible number of submissions for these awards, and I would have loved to give everybody one. Unfortunately, the company only sent us 7, so. So we had to pick the leader in each category. So rather than me get up here and bloviate any longer, I would truly like to invite up the individuals responsible for driving these forums and the education for all of you. And that would be your state CIO, Carlos Ramos, and the Director of Workforce Development, Christy Borshin. If you all would join us on stage. It's all yours.
Thank you. Correction, that's Vanna Borshin. Okay, well, how did it go today? Everybody like it? Did you get a lot out of it? I thought it was great as well. Russ, I have to tell you, you guys put on some really spot-on events. They always are very informative, and you know, one of the things that I like about him is his events are focused on a particular subject area. In this case, it was project delivery, but I've been to your other events, and those are always spot-on. So thank you once again to yourself, the team from PSP, especially your wife and daughter, because we know the secret behind every man's success, and especially his. But thank you to the people from PSP. And once again, you know, this couldn't all be done without the participation and enthusiastic, response from our sponsors. So one more round of applause for all of the sponsors, please. Okay, how many of you heard our keynote speaker, Gopal, this morning? Can I show of hands? He was fabulous. I got lots of references and good comments. A couple of people were asking me, he doesn't have a list of the people that are into that show you were watching. So they had kind of nervous smiles on their face. So I don't know what that means. How many of you saw the speaker before Gopal? Yeah, you saw a couple of them. Okay, so he issued you a challenge. Let's see him. How many of you got your 3 cards? How many of you got your 3 business cards? Okay, a couple of you. So you guys get free FSR approvals. The rest of you, you're in trouble. Oops, sorry, I didn't see Andrea there. Sorry. I didn't say, Christy told me to say that, Andrea. I just want you to know that. Okay, so really this is also my favorite part of the program as well, because I mentioned this morning, we get a lot of attention, but it's not always great positive attention. It's usually kind of negative, except for this afternoon. This is all positive. We're here to recognize accomplishment and those individuals and teams that really kind of distance themselves and kind of just showcase themselves above everybody else. So without further ado, we're going to start with our first award. The lovely Vanna Borshin here is going to help me hand these out. So come on up, we'll hand you your award, get a picture with you over here, and then have you come off the stage in that direction. So our first award, you said it would be on the confidence monitor. There it is. It's there. I'm just kidding. Okay, so our first award is for the Project Team Award. Let me tell you a little bit about this project. I mentioned it in our conversation this morning, the offender management system over at the Department of Corrections. So here's a system that's being put in place. It's a web-based system to manage all aspects of operations in an institution, tracking prisoners, moving them around. In addition to that, the team that led this project had to scan and digitize the paper files of something like 170,000 inmates And some of these files, go back years and decades, and they're very, very thick. So the team pulled this together. They worked together in an interdisciplinary team of program staff, policy side staff, IT, along with their vendor partner, to achieve the Department of Corrections goal, which fundamentally is increasing safety for staff, increasing safety for the people of the state of California, and for the inmates themselves. Now, all of the, obviously this is a massive team effort, and so the executives and the managers within the department as a whole really need to get credited for the success of this project. But we're going to recognize a few folks in particular. From the department, from the program and subject matter side, we're going to ask Stephanie Nguyen to come up, Cindy Burris, John Kennedy, and Christine Hubbard. While they're making their way up, also from the department, come on up, guys. Congratulations. Good to see you. Good to see you. Where's John Kennedy?
Working.
Oh, good. Somebody had to stay back. Also from the department, from the IT side, the manager for document scanning, Andrea Goldsmith. Communications manager, Edmund Blagden. Come on up. User acceptance testing manager, Chris Mills. And the technical team manager, Ryan Wong. And, we can't do this on our own. It also takes our vendor partners. So from the vendor partner team, from the Hewlett-Packard team, Brian Hodgson, come on up, Brian Avery, and Brian Newton. So what is it with HP? Everybody's named Brian. John Ward, Kip Levinsky, and Darren Healy. Oh, okay. And representing and leading the team and accepting the award, Scott Davidson. So come on up, Scott. Vanna, you have the award?
Yes, I gave it.
Oh, okay. All right. So can you say just a couple words?
So I guess the HP side was working as well. Darren was able to make it, and the rest of the folks know they were recognized and appreciate this award. So I'm probably the least likely person to be up here actually accepting the award, but this award is about teams and teamwork. And the team that stands behind me and the hundreds of other people that have made this a success deserve this recognition. I came onto the project maybe a little over a year ago, and one of the first things I noticed was about team and team dynamics. So the level of business involvement, we had full-time subject matter experts, teams of subject matter experts that were the top quality folks within the department. It was really a testament to the executive support that CDCR gave us and knew about the investment of this project and how important it was. And also the Department of Finance, when this project came off the ground, the Department of Finance and the Department of Technology as well invested in this project at a level that actually facilitated success. But back to the team. The other thing I noticed about was vendor relationship and the tone of the vendor relationship. And what I mean by that is you really got a sense that this was a collaborative effort, a partnership, where everybody had a stake in it, and not, the state has hired a vendor, and boy, we're going to hold you to it, and just pointing out the things that you're doing wrong. The group really focused on solving problems as opposed to pointing fingers, or that's your jurisdiction, my jurisdiction. This team is outstanding at getting things done efficiently. The third thing I noticed was just the level of commitment and dedication. I mean, these people are phenomenal, and talent. They really know what they're doing. We've got an A team here, and we're very, very blessed and fortunate to have that. So if there's anybody else on the SOMS team or that was on the SOMS team that's out in the audience, please stand to be recognized. There's a bunch of them. There's one now. But please, Please join me in giving a big round of applause for the SOMS team. Absolutely the finest level of dedicated, talented, and driven people I've ever had the pleasure to work with.
We'll have you guys come off on.
Sure. Can I get in? We got one more coming up.
Yeah. Okay. Get you, yeah.
Okay, our next award is our Project Manager Award. And this goes to our project manager of the Every Woman Counts Breast and Cervical Cancer Screening Reminder app. So the Every Woman Counts program is a program whose goals are to mitigate the devastating medical, emotional, and financial impacts of breast cancer and cervical cancer, and to eliminate the health disparities, especially in the area of cancer, for medically underserved low-income women by offering consumers a no-cost breast and cervical cancer screening. So, you know, you'd be surprised to learn, maybe not so surprised, but some of the major barriers to cancer screening are one, you know, just simply having a source of health care. That's kind of obvious if you don't have a source of health care. Two is having education or awareness of the importance of cancer screening. But surprisingly, the third major barrier is just being able to set or to remember to set and to keep appointments. So what the department did is it commissioned the development of an application, very simple, easy to download, free application that women can download onto their mobile device to remind them to, you know, one of the importance of breast cancer screening and cervical cancer screening, and then also to help them in terms of remembering when an appointment is set to remind them, and then track them over the course of years to remind them, hey, you know, you really should be on this sort of a schedule. So they turned to Shekhar Kumar to lead the effort by being in the role of project manager. And so he managed the project through a joint effort between program and IT as a senior application developer and project manager to gather requirements for the mobile app, present the ideas to the program in the form of prototypes, and then to lead the rapid application development, or the development of the application. So for his role as project manager on this program, we're pleased to recognize Shekhar Kumar.
Hi guys, I really didn't prepare a speech, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Chris Cruz and my management team for trusting me with this project. Thank you.
Okay, some of you sat in on the session regarding business analysts and their importance on technology projects, really which are business transformation projects, as we all know. So our next award is in the category of business analyst. And this award goes to the business analyst on the RIMS replacement project, which, where is Carla? Carla Simmons, where are you? What does RIMS stand for? I used to know, and I forgot. There you are, Carla, RIMS? Response Information Management System. So basically, this is a system that allows you to track and respond to or provide warnings when some sort of significant event happens that requires an emergency response, right, for the Office of Emergency Services. So the department developed a system, application that allows, or a system that allows folks to upload and report information when an event is going on, so that they can gather information, create a snapshot view of what's going on, and then share that information across multiple partners and to the public. The business analyst on this project is Patty Raposo. She's a senior emergency services coordinator for the California Governor's Office of Emergency Services. She's a subject matter expert for the State Operations Center and a standardized emergency management system, SEMS. So Patty's extensive experience, her knowledge, and her commitment to the project helped to make this a success. So we'd like to recognize Patty Raposo. One other thing I should warn you, she's a master of disguise, so you're not going to recognize her because today she looks just like Steven Sellers, who's accepting the application, the award for her. Why don't we take your picture first? Okay.
The reason Patty could not be here is because she's become such an expert on the product that we developed, which is called WebEOC, that she's in the state. It was personally invited by the state of Hawaii to be part of their week-long hurricane exercise and to transfer some of the expertise she learned on the system here in California to the state of Hawaii. So that probably shows you how good Patty is. And I've worked with Patty for about 19 years. This product that we replaced, the RIMS product, was a legacy system from the early 90s, one of the first response information management systems in the country. Since then, a lot of things have changed in terms of technology. But this emergency management information system is literally used by all 58 counties in the state of California now. A lot of our state agency partners, not only for reporting, but for managing state's mission response to disaster. So it's a real significant system, and it's going to be a real important for us as we manage the big one that we're all going to have down the road in partnership with our local government and our state agencies. Patty, those of you who know her from our shop and the team that work with her at Cal OES and the other state agencies, is consummate professional. I can think of nobody more deserving, certainly at OES or the state, and we appreciate this.
Just one bit of unsolicited advice, Stephen. Next time you're offered a choice between standing in for Patty, receiving an award, or representing her in Hawaii, just think about that. I only say that because we really wanted to see Patty here, not that Hawaii is any better there. Okay, our next award, our Change Champion Award. This is going to go to our Change Champion at the California Natural Resources Agency, and it's around their IT Shared Services Initiative. So what the Resources Agency has done is to take on the IT infrastructure of 30 different departments within their agency to get them to work together to consolidate it to create a highly virtualized internal cloud-based shared infrastructure at the agency level. Now, just getting a cloud, up and running is a pretty big challenge. I know that because we're going through that ourselves. That wasn't the hard part. The hard part was getting 30 different agencies to come together, to be willing to give up their own internal IT infrastructure, put it up to the agency level, and then trust that the services would be there and that they would be able to work together to achieve the services that they want. That all took the work of a very dynamic and important change champion, and that's Atlas Hill. So Atlas led the effort and brought the agency to the point of actually now being a model of IT shared services. So Atlas, come on up.
Is this on? Shucks. Well, I really didn't have anything prepared either. That's never stopped me from talking before. So, I just wanted to say that change is never easy. It requires a lot of shaking up of things, and that can be really difficult for a lot of people. Several decades ago, I was in the military, and they were talking about change. They wanted to have change, and they wanted to improve, and they wanted to be better. And I wound up assigned to a munitions maintenance organization where I was working on nuclear warheads. I found they really didn't mean they wanted things shaken up, which was quite disappointing. But I found over at the Resources Agency, it was really different. Getting the organizations, other resources agency to participate in shared services was pretty easy when they knew that they had a lot of support behind them. And I really want to thank Tim Garza and a lot of the staff at Resources Agency for making a lot of that happen, because it really couldn't have happened without their support.
Okay, and as we mentioned, these projects don't happen just with IT, right? There's a lot of important stakeholders and components and partners that make these things successful. One of the areas that is often overlooked but usually blamed, except when the blame comes around, is area procurement. So we're going to recognize also an award recipient in the procurement specialist area. And this is for the Department of Corrections for their radio infrastructure replacement project. So the procurement of this contract provided the Department of Corrections, CDCR, a standardized digital communication system. The CDCR radio trunk system will be interconnected to allow communications between the institutions, CDCR programs and headquarters, and eventually interoperability between other state, federal, and local public safety organizations. The project couldn't have been done without the contract award that was the result of the work of Alfonso Castillo. Al was the data processing manager that led the procurement effort. He was the guy responsible for forging a team that put together the RFP with all of its complex requirements. He worked collaboratively with the department or the Office of Emergency Services, the Public Safety Communications Office, and my own procurement shop to make sure that the RFP, when it went out, met all the rules, policies, and standards for a good procurement, but also met the needs of the department. It's safe to say that without his vision, his effort, and his collaboration, the department would not have gotten the results that it did. So please help me in congratulating Al Castillo.
Wipe my sweat. Thank you for the announcement and the speech on as far as what we've done. Actually, it's been a really great project coming from various agencies, coming to CDCR. We really did have a plan, and the vision wasn't necessarily entirely mine. We put together just an incredible team, and I can tell you that we spent many Friday nights becoming Saturday mornings, and sometimes Sundays becoming Mondays. But here we are. We have provided the state, and when I say the state, not only CDCR, but the state of California, with a inoperable radio system that's second to none, that every agency in the state can take advantage of. And again, this wouldn't have been possible without the assistance of the Department of Technology, the California Office of Emergency Service, Public Safety Communications Office, which has the longest title, I think, in state. And obviously with the support of our executive management, Joe Panora, Albert, and my immediate manager, who keeps reminding me of brevity. I think she's giving me signals. But we want to say thank you on behalf of the team and everything. Again, this is really their award and everything, so I'll probably be cutting it in little pieces for all of us there. But thank you, and thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Al, we'll hold on to your award hat or your for you. We'll give it to you afterwards. Okay, our next award. You know, how often does a project get awards for two different people? So it's got to be a pretty good project, right? So once again, we're going to recognize the resources agencies, IT shared services, but this time in the category of vendor manager. So I already told you the benefits and the wherefores and how-tos of the project, and the fact that it's now, you know, really kind of created a model for the rest of the state to follow in the way of shared services. But as I mentioned, we don't do these sorts of things alone, right? We have to work with our vendor partners to assure this. So our vendor manager is Tony Morshed, and Tony was acting in the capacity of vendor manager, and as such, he was instrumental in the success of the initiative, because he led a cross-agency group of departmental IT staff, multiple vendor groups in the planning and design and execution of the IT shared services private cloud. His project and vendor management experience ensured project risk, schedule, and quality were monitored and properly controlled in the effort. His leadership, his communication, and his collaboration and facilitation skills were essential in establishing the service and in getting those 30 departments to work together. So please help me in congratulating Tony Morshed.
I also didn't have anything prepared, but really want to thank my CIO, Tim Garza, my infrastructure team, and really all the business partners, because it was those business partners that allow us to deliver the solutions and get us where we needed to go. Thanks.
Okay, so you've heard me say, and I think you've heard other speakers today say that, you know, these are really not technology projects. They're business transformation projects, right? And so one of the key aspects of these business transformation projects is having business leaders that get it. Business leaders that are in tune to the needs, not only of the project, but really that have the whole well-being and objectives and goals of the department in terms of what they're trying to achieve from a business perspective in mind, and that they can communicate that and lead their teams, both the business side of the house, the program side of the house, and their IT side of the house in the successful delivery of a project. And it's not just there, right? It extends beyond that. It extends to being able to partner and communicate well with the vendors that are our partners in these things, and with the control agencies, and the legislature, and the press, and the Department of Finance, and everybody else, in order to make a project like this successful. And in order to do that well, to be an effective leader, you really have to have not only a personal commitment to it, but you have to give of your own time, and you have to lead by example. So I'm really pleased to recognize the recipient of our award leadership, our leadership award today. You know, I went to the project sponsor session upstairs, and you know, as we were preparing for it, we're thinking, okay, one of the things we have to do is right up front define what is an effective project sponsor, what is an effective leader from the business side. So I went to the dictionary, I looked up, you know, effective business leader, and there was a picture of Selby Stanislaus right there. So I think Selby really does epitomize what a good leader ought to be, especially around these projects. She leads a very capable, progressive, and always professional organization, the Franchise Tax Board. And I especially see that coming through in the way they run their technology projects. Sorry, business transformation projects. So if we could clone her and replicate her, I guarantee you, all the publicity, all the press articles, all the hearings that we would have in California would all be very positive. So please help me in welcoming and congratulating Selby Stanislaus, the winner of our Leadership Award.
Thank you so much, Carlos. I'm honored and humbled to accept this award on behalf of FTB, and I've asked my CIO extraordinaire, Kathy Clay, to come and share some thoughts. Kathy.
Sylvie asked me to say a few words, and when she said a few, I didn't know what she really meant, how many was a few, so I decided to write a poem. So I'll just say my poetry skills my IT skills might be a bit better than my poetry skills, but so here goes. 'Twas April 15th, and all through the Franchise Tax Board, overworked project managers Kim and Marlene were feeling ignored. We're scared and we're lonely and we're all out of time, and our CFO, Lisa, won't give us another dime. We need so much help and we need it fast. We do not have no one to turn to, no one at last. They sat down at the sponsor meeting feeling frustrated and tired, but the FTB employees got them feeling inspired. We need some people. Chris's help is a sure bet. Ann, Scott, scanning and data, there's hope for us yet. Carol and Debbie? Carol's got collections, it's new and improved. Debbie's predictive models have just been approved. Roadmaps, phases, stoplights galore. Kathy's technology team keeps coming back for more. Deliverables, project plans, templates, and tools. Let's consult with CGI experts, they are no fools. Advice and encouragement, all to be had. I guess those long meetings were not all that bad. Sylvie's heart filled with glee, and her head set a spinning. She looked at her team and couldn't stop grinning. Now we're ahead of the game and wiser to boot. We're even deposited $1 billion, AKA Jerry's loot. Thanks for the award, and Sylvie's telling Sylvie she's the best. Now let's all go get some well-deserved rest. So. Thank you.
Okay, so once again, congratulations to all the award winners and to all of you out there that made the time and effort to get here today. I think you'll find that it was very worthwhile. So, I think I want to add one little line to Kathy's poem. It's, let's go get some well-deserved rest and cocktails, okay? So let's go do that. Let's be back here next year and have a bunch of new award winners. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, sponsor.